the importance of the chemical equilibrium. That what is the importance of chemical equilibrium? What are the applications main that is related to the chemical equilibrium? So let's have the introduction about this. When the chemical equilibrium constant is to be determined, it has many applications. It has many applications in chemistry. And what type of applications are these? As we are going to find the value of Kc, it is important for the reversible reaction, reversible reactions, and these reversible reactions are having maybe done in the industries or at the large level. It may be used to calculate the concentration of the reactants and the concentration of the products as well at regular intervals, regular intervals for a reaction. So if we want to calculate the concentration of reactants as well as the products at regular interval in a chemical reaction, then we can calculate it by the use of or the value of Kc. So let's start that what are the applications. Number one, it is used to predict the extent of a chemical reaction. So what does mean by the extent of chemical reaction? The extent of chemical reaction means that at what point the chemical reaction has been reached, as it is going to make completion, or it is at the start, or it is at the equilibrium state. So these are the main application for the value of Kc. It's used to predict the extent of chemical reaction. Extent is to which a reaction may proceed. So if we have a simple reaction as A and to A and B moles of B reactant are going to react for the reversible reaction forming C moles of C and plus D moles of D. Then the value of Kc for this reaction, we have the C and its mole C and the product D its mole D and the molar concentration of A and its mole A into the molar concentration of B and its mole B. This is the simply Kc. So the extent of reaction depends upon the magnitude of Kc. It depends upon the magnitude of Kc. So magnitude of Kc means we have mainly three ways in which we can predict the extent of the chemical reaction. The first one we have Kc is very small. Kc is very small. If we have the very small value of Kc, then what does mean by this? When the concentration of A and the concentration of B is large and the concentration of C and concentration of D is small, then the equilibrium mixture will contain mainly the reactants only, and only the small amount of products will be present. So it reflects that the reaction does not proceed appreciably and it is moving in the forward reaction. Forward reaction, and this is moving in the from left to right direction. So if we have very small value of Kc, it's mean that the reaction does not proceed appreciably in the forward direction. And second, if we have very large value of Kc is very large. So what does mean by this? The Kc is very large. The simply is mean that here the concentration of A and B, it is small, and the concentration of C and D, it is large. So the equilibrium mixture will mainly consist of the products or entirely products, and small amount of reactants will be present over there. This indicates that the reaction is completed in the forward direction. It means the reaction is almost completed. And if the value is very small, then it's mean the reaction is almost at the beginning or the start. And if very large value of Kc, then the reaction is completed. And here we have the third term when the value of Kc is not large and not small. So what does mean by this? That it is at the medium level. It's mean the concentration of reactants A and B is almost equal to the concentration of products C and D. So the system will be at equilibrium state. So the reaction is at equilibrium state. So this is the first application of the Kc. Next we have the second application, that is predicting the direction of the reaction. So by the value of Kc we can predict the direction of the reaction, that whether the reaction is in the forward reaction or whether the reaction is in the reverse direction. So for this we have to find the values. When the ratio, we have the ratio of products to the ratio of the reactants is less than the value of Kc, then the system is not at equilibrium. System is not at the equilibrium state. Rather, more products are required. More products are required to gain the equilibrium. Therefore, the reaction will move in the forward direction. Forward direction. If the ratio of products to reactants is less than Kc. And in the second, if we have the ratio of products to reactants is large, so the products to the reactants ratio we have large than Kc, then the system is not at the equilibrium state, so more reactants are required. Now we need more reactants to reach the equilibrium state. And when we need to reach the equilibrium state, when reactants are required, then the reaction will move in the reverse reaction, or we can say that reverse direction, and more products will recombine and forming the reactants. So this was the simple that how what is the importance of the Kc for the given reaction. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any queries you can ask me about that in the comment section. For that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.